So, I'll be honest, if I've seemed a little less responsive over the past week, that's because I've been basically taking a staycation here in Nashville with my visiting brother, Dan. In fact, I'm surprised that nobody has seemed to have noticed that we recorded that last Broken Silicon in multiple sittings just to work around our schedule. And actually, now that I'm telling you that, I wonder if any of you can figure out where the cut was between the two recordings. But either way, it seems like us and Gerard, the editor, did a good job of making it feel like it was all recorded in one sitting. But anyways, this staycation hasn't stopped me from receiving tips from a handful of my AMD sources. They have been reaching out to me over the past week, and I've been conversing with them on and off. And I have to say that some of the stuff that I've been told this week is so exciting that I don't think that I can wait until the Juneteenth weekend is over. Before your vacations are over, I can't help but right now tell you some incredibly exciting things that I've been told about Zen 6 and RDNA 5. And first, let's actually get to the Zen 6 information. So ever since I exclusively leaked that AMD was targeting 7 gigahertz boost clocks or higher actually for the flagship desktop Zen 6 products, there's been constant skepticism from a section of the online gaming hardware community regarding this leak for honestly understandable reasons. Look, I understand how insane that number looks at face value. 7 gigahertz. And yes, there is therefore a reason I haven't doubled down on the 7 gigahertz number yet. I keep saying things like AMD is targeting 7 gigahertz, and they are, and they plan to hit 7 gigahertz, and I do believe they plan to do that. But I want ample proof before I say that target is achieved or say that it definitely will, that Zen 6 definitely will hit 7 gigahertz, because I don't want to stake my reputation on a claim that AMD might fail to reach. But today I don't quite have final verification that Zen 6 will go above 7 gigahertz, but I feel like I have to put this out there because I keep seeing comments that argue I'm backpedaling with my recent leaks. I'm not. Let me put this leak on screen here. So and this is coming from a source at AMD, told me they just came across a Powderhorn, code name for the Zen 6 desktop CCD, document that referenced eventual qualification of samples hitting 7 gigahertz. At a minimum, this source believes that as of the first half of 2026, this isn't information from last year, AMD is still targeting at least 7 gigahertz boost clocks for at least one Zen 6 product, if not many. Guys, no, I am not backpedaling. I am not suggesting that I heard they might get there and it sounds like things are going wrong. And the only thing I said in recent leaks, in fact, is that maybe Zen 6 desktop might get delayed like a quarter or two from late this year. But I was always kind of suggesting that could happen. None of that delay has to do with them failing to hit certain clock speeds, at least not recently. And as of, up-to-date information, they are still prepping to have Zen 6 hit 7 gigahertz, working on things behind the scenes towards that goal. There is nothing out there, and actually there's information to the contrary, that there is a failure. Zen 6 still targets 7 gigahertz. Time will tell if they actually achieve this goal, but it's not a pipe dream. This is a real dream that they can and might achieve. In fact, to show you that it's not crazy to suggest they might achieve this insane clock speed, that really isn't insane, if you calculate the clock speed difference between when AMD went from Zen 3 to Zen 4, so the 5950X to the 7950X, they went from 4.9 gigahertz to a blistering at the time 5.7 gigahertz. Everybody, if they did that same jump, what they did from Zen 3 to Zen 4, proportionally, they would hit 6.6 gigahertz. So if they just achieved what they've already done in the past, it would be nothing new. The bar is really 6.6 gigahertz. And then remember that Zen 5 to Zen 7 is at least 2 no jumps. Zen 3 to Zen 4 was 1 no jump. And so there you go. Zen 6 was always targeting 7 gigahertz. Really, it was. It is still targeting 7 gigahertz or higher. And 7 gigahertz really isn't a pipe dream when you consider what they've been able to achieve in the past. And now I actually want to move on to some exciting information I'm hearing about RDNA 5 after an ad from a sponsor. This piece of content is brought to you by David Protein Bars. So, for the past few months, or really at this point for the majority of 2026, me and especially my girlfriend have been loving the packages of David Protein Bars that were sent to us. But we don't just like David Protein Bars, they've made a place in our weekly rotation. We keep using them to this day, and that's because they genuinely deliver on taste, texture, and macros. And for me, I still feel great after eating them. They don't like rot in your stomach like you just ate a bunch of candy, which can be a huge problem with snack bars. It's exactly what you need if you need a snack and don't have time to cook or just need something really, really quick. And I actually just did that recently. That Steam Deck price reaction video, it was a sudden one. I hadn't planned to do it that week. The price increase just came out of nowhere, and I had a really powerful reaction, and I had to keep my energy up because I really did care about it so much, but I hadn't planned to do a video that day. I was planning to eat sooner. I used one of the David Protein Bars that's sitting here in my office. Here's another one that's always here in case there's an emergency. And yeah, the video did great, and David was part of making it perform well. There are two main options for bars. The gold bars are the most performance focused with 28 grams of protein, 150 calories, zero sugar, and the texture I actually like the most. It's like cookie dough, but it's not cookie dough. Then there's the bronze bars that are more indulgent, 20 grams of protein, 150 calories, still zero sugar, so they're blood sugar friendly and don't make you crash. My girlfriend loves these ones the most. And either way, all David bars are built on real evidence-based nutrition. So if you want to try one of them out, David is offering viewers a special deal. When you get 4 cartons, you can get the 5th one for free when you use my link below or the QR code on screen. And if you don't want to wait, you can go and find David Protein Bars at Target, Walmart, Kroger, Publix, and other locations. But I would really prefer the most if you'd support Moore's Law is Dead by checking out David through the links below today. All right, so now let's get to the RDNA 5 leak without wasting any time. Let me put it right on screen for you now. So this source told me that this person works at a major OEM, were just told by AMD that we might be able to receive the first shipments of desktop RDNA 5 in mid-2027. I know that's not a promise for an exact date, but at a minimum, I'd now be shocked if RDNA 5 didn't launch before the end of 2027, and I genuinely find this exciting due to how NVIDIA has been treating us with GPU supply lately. We need this. So yeah, despite the constant misinformation that frankly we've seen before, by the way.
Right now, this very second. They're in stock, they're massively discounted, and they're doing this because they will not launch a 40 series while there is a surplus of 30 series.
It's not new to have operatives behind the scenes tell major platforms that you should totally not wait to buy things and just spend all your money right now. And I do kind of get the sense that that's happening again. But yeah, despite the FUD, everything I am hearing still points to at least some RDNA 5 product launching next year. And I have to say that anyone who is surprised by me reconfirming RDNA 5 launches next year really shouldn't be surprised when you consider all of the leaks that have come out from other people, but also, of course, from me regarding the PlayStation 6, the PlayStation 6 handheld, Xbox Helix, Medusa Halo, a whole line of Medusa Halo products, and all of these, or a lot of these, sharing chiplets with desktop RDNA 5. If those products are ready to launch next year, why would some desktop variants not also be ready to launch next year? It just honestly makes sense, except for, and now I have to do this, now I need to address something that I imagine is already causing a bunch of angry gamers to type in all caps in the comments once again regarding the current, underline that word, current price of RAM. You see, it's become painfully obvious to me that no matter how many times I try to explain why the AI bubble will pop within like 18 months, and that therefore record high DDR5 prices are thus on borrowed time, many people seem to ignore this in-depth content and only watch leaks or gamery opinion pieces I do, and thus don't see the connections and just type in all caps that this can't happen because of RAM, missing that I'm trying to tell you that the reason I'm sure of a lot of this stuff is because I'm also sure about the AI bubble popping as well. And so I need to end this video by making clear once again that I am not ignoring the RAM issue. I am directly saying that because I think the RAM issue will get better in the next 18 months, that this is why the product I'm talking about today, that product is RDNA 5, should launch within when we expect it to from previous leaks, which in this case is 2027, next year. And by the way, it's not like I'm naive here. It's not just me. Whether you talk to Steve from Hardware Unboxed, or Ed Zitron, or Ed Elson from the Prof G Markets podcast, or Wendell from Level 1 Techs, they all agree with me and the other experts. If you still don't get it, then just please stop ignoring it, stop typing in all caps, and watch the content that I'm showing on screen, especially my opinion piece about it and the Ed Zitron interview recently on Broken Silicon. No, prices probably won't go back to the record low levels we saw in 2025, but those were record low levels. There will still be a correction within the next 18 months. There will be. And no, though, it might not go back to the way things used to be, but it will go back to a better world than what we're seeing right now. It's inevitable at this point. The math for AI just isn't mathing anymore, and companies are already moving in to fill the voids left by memory makers like Samsung, and once that dam breaks, it'll be quite a break. And so if you can't be bothered to watch that content, then please stop acting like you know what you're talking about when you swear you'll be happy to buy DDR4 in like 2028 or something. That's over a year from now, and I know things look bad now. Yeah, I see it. I see the articles, farming rage that tell you about $3,000 SSDs to put in a $900 PS5 Pro. But first of all, almost none of you would even buy an SSD of that capacity for a console. Don't even know how many games you would put in that. But that's now, everybody. That's now, 2026. Not 2027, and not 2028. And actually, speaking of PlayStation, I'm about to have Mystic on to discuss everything PlayStation, Xbox, Steam Machine, and next generation hardware on the next episode of Broken Silicon. I'm about to put out the request for questions for him. So if you join the Patreon right now, even at the lowest tier, you can ask that guest questions and of course get access to dozens of the essential Die Shrink episodes. And then higher tiers get you access to hundreds of episodes of Die Shrinks, the ability to join the Discord and talk to thousands of MLID fans, including me. I'm there. I'm very active, usually when I'm not on vacation, that is. And also higher tiers get access to early ad-free Broken Silicon, free questions on live streams, and much, 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 much more. Please check out the Patreon. We cannot do this independent journalism that doesn't just rage bait, doesn't just, follow the herd of what everyone's saying, tries to get you accurate information before anyone else is doing so. Please consider supporting us on Patreon. But of course, also make sure that you subscribe to Moore's Law Z YouTube channel, ring the bell button, hype this video on mobile, comment down below, and don't forget to share. And for everybody else, at a minimum, if you made it this far towards the end of the video, thank you for watching.